Hey guys, welcome back, John Megacycle here, another episode of Feed the Beast, Direwolf 20 mod pack here with the rest of the Motley Crafters. Wanted to bring you another quick update on how we've been doing, how things have been progressing here in Sanctuary. Ugh, I can talk. Excuse me. We've got pretty much a full boat on the server. 4 people out of the players that we've got. Well, I guess full boat is a little subjective. I don't usually play with a lot of people. Usually I'm on by myself based on my work schedule and the like, so it's good to see other people. Just wanted to give you a quick update, show you some of the new things we've got going on. By no means is this a tutorial or anything of the such, but I just wanted to show you where we've been and how we've been progressing in the such. So, this is my place. I gave you guys a little bit of a tour last time. Not much has changed. I went ahead and I put up my diamond armor. I've got armor sets on each sides of the bedroom. What I'm toting right now is the power armor suit. I've got power armor helmet, power armor chestplate, power armor legs, power armor boots, power fist. You say all that 3 times fast, I'll shake your hand. That's crazy. Uh, anyhow, so I went through, now that we've got a quarry system and enough resources, I went ahead and built myself some power gear, and this is the first time I've actually dealt with the power armor. It's absolutely amazingly customizable. It's absolutely awesome. You could have a dozen people use power armor, and you wouldn't have people use have the same setup and configuration. Right now, I've got NVGs or night vision goggles turned on my helmet. It's amazing. You can see the water. You can obviously see at night. The nether lights up like an absolute Christmas tree. It's amazing how much you can see. I've got a lot of add-ons. I've got flight. I've got jump. I've got swimming. I've got a bunch of really cool stuff. Yeah, now it fogs up now that you're in the water. Swimming capability, I've got an air electrolyzer, which, if you check my oxygen supply, will dwindle down to 0 and then replenish itself. Yeah, there we go. So that allows me to breathe indefinitely underwater. Movement is lickety split. It's absolutely crazy. So that's one of the fun things I've been experimenting with in terms of armor and trying to beef up my personal tech level. Aside from that, with my house's tech level, so to speak, I've been adding on a little bit. Of course, I showed you guys my backyard last episode, but this is mostly finished. This is the cherrywood mana tree that I've been working on, and holy crap, this took a while. Pretty much standard on the first floor here, what you guys have seen before. The torches, the roots of the tree branching out into other smaller trees. I've got a branch that goes to that tree, and there's a branch that cuts into this tree, so you can see that it's very much permeated throughout the environment. And then this is the biggest tree I've ever made. um, this is how the story is going to start. Um, People are going to come to the Cherrywood house or the cozy house or whatever. I still haven't come up with a good name for it, but people are going to come to this house for rest and relaxation and refreshments. They're going to be told that this tree holds a secret. They'll come down, they'll find the book that I've placed at the base of the tree, and that's when they'll begin their quest. Kind of Secret of Mana-ish style, given a weapon and needing to use it to wake up the spirits of the earth, that sort of a thing. But the inside has been very humble. I just wanted to get the leaves set up and some of the branches. I just started with the branches. As you can see, I'm going to kind of go with this style where it branches out, goes up, over, over, up, over, and then, kind of looks like it's an actual branch or logs part of the tree. I didn't want just a big base and then just the leaves because the tree looked amazingly hollow without some proper gear in it. So how do we get out of here? Oh, here it is. There we go. Since you can kind of see through it, it would look way too hollow if it was just the leaves. So I want to make sure that we fill that up a little bit. I'm not too sure if I'll use glowstone or pumpkins or some other sort of lighting, but I really like how it looks. Where am I right now? Oh, one of my shrines. The shrines have been doing quite well, protecting me from mobs. I've not seen any mobs here except for the dryads or the nymphs or whatever the heck those things are. Let's go find one. Dryad, okay. I was thinking of like wood nymphs or something. Yeah, you can dash around this thing like crazy once you put on the jetpack and jumpsuit and everything. Flight, these suits are absolutely crazy. I've been having a lot of fun. It's Iron Man. It's literally like being Iron Man. I guess that's the best way I could phrase that. So, that having been said, that's been all the additions to Cherry House. We'll just take a quick look around, see what else has changed around here around Sanctuary, and then we'll probably call this an episode. Let's see, we have our villager change machine. That's just pretty standard. Bunch of villagers in a room. Trade deals we like up top. The breeding pool down here. Some new hats have become available. I'm not too sure what that one is, but that's okay. Master Codex has been working with Steve's Carts mod pack, and he's got a little bit of a forest woodcutty thing going on here. Looks like he took the actual cart out. Yeah. Effectively what that is, you build a minecart, and then you fill it with an engine, some componentry, a fuel source, and that sort of thing. You can actually make it do stuff. He had this thing working pretty efficiently. It was actually cutting the leaves, cutting down the logs, and then dumping them into a tesseract to be put into our ME system. And that was working out pretty cool just for a proof of concept, and I believe he's right now working downstairs on some other stuff with the cart system. He's got these adorable little thaumium golems here. You might notice I'm not taking any damage. I totally have the shields cranked up on my armor, which has been amazing. It actually provides... I'll just take these, thank you. It actually provides 24 points of armor, which is pretty amazing considering diamond only provides the 10 if you're in full diamond armor. So let's just dump that off. So it's been very handy with the power suit. Let's see here. Let's actually do a tour from the outside of the house. We have the animals still, the barn, which Furious Feline has built. We took out all the farming bits here. We had an 8x12 of sugar, an 8x8 of wheat, and an 8x8 of wool. Those have all been moved downstairs to the very bottom floor for automatic harvest and collection. This is the Ars Magica. Spectral constructed this one. Kind of looks like a laboratory. I like it a lot. And then of course we have Hockey Girl's base way back in the corner. Whee! And we have Master Rat's facility there. Or Master Codex, my fault. And let's see here. Yes, I know it's owned by Master Codex. So, first floor, not much has really changed here. Some very basic IC2 machines and the like. Thermal expansion. Yeah, Industrial Craft 2. The hookup for the modular power suits and the ME system for applied energetics. And let's go down. Storage. This hasn't changed at all. We've been migrating a bunch of the big stuff, high quantity stuff to the ME system, but the chests have really been effective for storing discs. Like in this case where you have a lot of uniques, this is still a really good way to handle that kind of item. Like wands, safari nets, logic matrix, stuff that doesn't stack. It's really handy to just use the chests. But aside from that, everything's really been moved to the ME system. This floor has our smeltery in it. Pretty straightforward with that. Tinker's Construct, that's pretty amazing. That's how we make. I think everyone makes their tools using Tinker's Construct. Absolutely a godsend for how we do things and how we move the earth and do our harvesting. And then of course our Miscraft area, we've got books on books because nobody can keep stuff organized. But for the stuff that we do want to keep, we do have a small area over here. We found a world completely made out of endstone earlier on. A lava world for power generation. A quarry world for resources. And them be gold in them spheres. Oh, a gold sphere. I think Joshimus found that one. So these are all pretty self-explanatory. This is a world that's completely made out of lava using endothermic pumps. What that does is it turns the actual lava into cobblestone, and then using an ender tank, it pumps the lava back to headquarters to be used for energy generation. So if you're not familiar with that stuff, I'm not actually completely familiar with it. There's a lot of good stuff going on back there. And actually the only book I have takes me back home. So since Furious Feline tried to take a nap, we're going to go ahead and do the same. Oh, Spectral got it. Fair enough. So let's go back to Sanctuary, shall we? Right where we left off. Mistcraft, Tinker's Construct. I think Master Codex is working with carts in this room. Very cool. And here's all the ME systems. We have a nuclear facility somewhere around here. Yeah, ME. Forestry, we got ender storage, thermal expansion. Most of the machinery is all down here. Automatic brewing, magmatic dynamos for the lava. Excuse me. Lots of cool stuff. Since the last episode, I don't think I really went into the nuts and bolts of all the stuff back here, but we'll just do a quick peek on the mass fabrication system. Of course, solars for the ME system. I believe that's what's keeping that online. And over here we have the Industrial Craft 2 mass fabricator. I think right now it's just chunking out clay. Oh, diamond. Okay. Effectively what this does is you scan an item. If it's able to be scanned, what it'll do is it'll take the pattern and then, oh, hang on. Boop. And then what you could do is once a pattern is enabled, you put it in the replicator, the pattern, and then it goes through and it creates diamonds. So this is using UU matter and a certain amount of electricity, and it'll actually produce the sillies. And that'll actually produce diamonds for you. How this all works, Spectral slapped this all together. It's mass fabricators, recyclers, extruders, lots of awesome stuff. I don't actually know how any of that works. But it's cool to see. Oh. And here we are. Here's the nuclear reactor. Yeah, reactor chamber. So I'm not too sure how any of this works. A lot of this stuff looks depleted, I guess. Anyway, this is actually powering a good chunk of the base as well. So it's actually pretty neat to see. It is covered in hardened glass. As far as Spectral has informed me, that should cause it to not explode. But I'm always a little weary when it comes to anything like that. Atomics, nuclears, fusions, whew, it gets to some pretty heavy stuff. But we've got quite a few competent people running the show here, so I'm not too worried about it. Not too worried about it. So, moving on. And this is the last floor really in our system. Auto harvesters for wheat, oak wood, rubber wood, and sugar. That keeps the base really stocked up with a lot of the basics that we need. Then there's also a blast furnace, coke coal brick oven, and I don't even have, oh, creosote oil. Yeah, lots of stuff going on here. And then on top of all that, storage tanks. This one is full of UU matter, I believe. Yeah, UU matter. This one's filled with ethanol. And then this one I think is mob essence. Yeah, okay. When you kill mobs, you can harvest a bit of essence. And with that, you can use that essence to spawn other mobs. So for example, what we're doing is we have a blaze killer, and actually I'll show you what that is in a second. It automatically kills blazes that are being spawned. When they die, it harvests their mob essence, and then what we do is we use that mob essence to have a squid generator. And then what that does is that gives us pretty much a limitless amount of ink sacs, which is something that we go through a lot. Early on in the game, we were going through a ton of them, considering we were creating worlds, creating linking books. We were going through a lot of ink. But this is exactly what has been constructed here. We've got, really quick, we've got the spawners. They've been displaced using Ars Magica, I believe. I could be wrong. But what the spawners do is they obviously crap out the blazes. The blazes get pushed by conveyor belts. And then these little gems, this is a grinder. What this does is this actively kills off the blazes. I should put this back. Yoink. And then, since that counts as a player kill, you get the blaze rods, you may get the trophy, and you get the mob essence, which is pumped back. Oops, hang on. Which is pumped back using these tesseracts. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we have 4 of these and two blaze spawners on each side, and they all do the same thing. So they'll kill off the mobs, they'll harvest the essence, it'll get piped back, and then also the blaze rods are also collected. That could be interesting. Hey, Master Codex is joining us as well. So it looks like we have the exact same setup here. Oh yeah. Witch spawner, grinder, tesseract. Holy crap. Now again, these count as player kills. Let's just make sure all these tesseracts are set up right. They were not set up right before. Okay, cool. Oh, that's pretty amazing. So that's glowstone, redstone, sticks, bottles. I'm not too sure what else you get from witches. But that's pretty amazing. Let's see, we have 11 and 85 on the glowstone. So let's just go watch the witches for a second and see if that grows at all. Oh man, wither skeletons also? That's crazy. That's great. So not only will we get the wither bones out of the wither skeletons, considering we need that for, there's cool stuff you can do with Tinker's Construct and the energy tank, the heart tanks and everything like that. We'll also get the wither skulls, which is going to be perfect because we'll be able to spawn as many withers as we want. That is awesome. Oh yeah, look at that. That's excellent. That's going to keep us pretty steady in resources. Now, if you notice, they're hooked up to tesseracts and hooked up to smaller machines. Those are actually 4 spawners, since there are no witch spawners. Excuse me. There are no witch spawners like in the cage like the blazes. So these are natural blaze spawners that have been just transported. Since there are no natural spawners for the skeletons or the witches, they have to be fabricated. So I'll actually show you that also with our squid system. Once I can get... There we go. It's actually way over here. Oh, Joshua misses base. Quite a cornucopia o' trees. Down here is what I was mentioning before. This is the squid grinder. They're down there at the very bottom. You can see is the exact item that I was mentioning before. There's like a false spawner and a tesseract. So what it'll do is it'll suck the mob essence out of the storage system. Can I get in here? Oh, it's all clear glass. So no, I can't. But I can turn it on and show you guys what we think, or what I mean. So this will turn on the spawner down there, and if we wait a second, we'll just see a crap ton of squids come out. I think, unless we're already using too much mob essence. Yep, there we go. Yeah, so these guys will just start crapping out. The grinder will kill them, and then it'll also pick up the ink sacs that come with it, and it'll dump it right into the ME system. Spectral also built this one. So we don't want to leave this on permanently, considering it does use up a lot of mob essence, which is what we were talking about before. But this is really still cool that you can get ink sacs if we need. Come here. Freaking squeaker. We can get ink sacks and a lot of good resources just by flipping this thing on. Considering early game that's a little difficult to work with, now new players aren't going to have a problem when we get new recruits and the like. So aside from that, I really think this has been the brunt of the new additions to Sanctuary. Not much else has changed here. The players have been continuously evolving with new gear, new stuff, new toys, and it's been a lot of fun. My recommendation to everybody, since the MotleyCrafters as a group are now a year old, I highly recommend that if you've got any friends or you want to create your own server or your own YouTube series or anything, I highly recommend you just do it. Find some friends, start up a Minecraft server. You can do it pretty darn cheaply. You can have somebody else host it, so it's not on your machine running 24/7. Get some friends together and have some fun. Certainly that's been my policy ever since I started the YouTube group and the MotleyCrafters and everything, and I've had nonstop fun since. So thanks for joining me, guys. I'm going to call this an episode here, and I'm going to head back up to bed, considering I've got some strategy games queued up with Master Codex right after this. So, good God. He built this. Yeah, that. Did you see that little blue rim? He built a new staff or something that builds a like a cartoon black hole or whatever. He can phase through walls and stuff. Jerk. So, anyway, as I was saying, thanks a lot for joining me, guys. I appreciate it. I'll try to give regular updates, but until then, thanks for watching, and God, everyone's visiting. That's breaking and entering. Here, have some ink. Take it. Jerk. Alright, anyway. Yeah, that's the neat thing about power armor. Almost take no damage. Alright. Anywho, thanks for watching, guys. I will catch you later.